Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another live stream. In today's live stream, well, we got a, very sensitive subject that you already know we like to cover out here on this channel a lot. Trying to give everybody how's it going? A reality check as to what to expect out here. Anyways, hopefully sound is coming in okay, and you guys can hear me good. Hold on a second. There we go. How about now? Maybe it'll sound a little better. Sorry, this is the first live stream of the year, and the official live stream of the year. So still working the kinks out while I wait for you guys to make your way into the live stream. Shout out to everyone out there. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys had an amazing new year. Hope you guys had an amazing end of 2024. We're now in 2025. How crazy is that? And well, I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. And thanks. Oh, thank you so much. Honestly uninterested. I see you're already asking me a question. Shout out to you. From Canada. You're asking me a question, which is, what is the cheapest beach town in Mexico with transportation? I won't be bringing a car. Cheap rents, I mean. Well, I don't know, because I don't really. That's not what I cover here on this channel. I show people in the audience, how to find these things out on their own. Mexico's a huge country, again, about the size of the USA. And so it's like asking me, what are the cheapest beach towns in the USA? Depends on a million factors, what kind of weather you're looking for, what coast you want to be on, whether you, there's many things. But yeah, long story short, I don't know. I really wouldn't know, what that would be. But the thing is that, the cost of Mexico across the board, is pretty, how do I say, equal. It just depends on exactly what amenities you're looking for. Which, by the way, I'm glad you kind of asked that question, because that's part of, why is it so difficult for so many Americans, Canadians, to move out to Mexico and stay out here in Mexico. Not move out here. It's easy for a lot of you guys to move out here. It's actually more difficult for you to stay out here. And these are the reasons why. Because of for example, number one, it might be as simple as just having here. Let me put this in the background. It's a lot better than okay. Anyways, for a lot of people out there, they just have unrealistic expectations, and that's just the reality of it too. The thing is, when you tell me, when I hear somebody and tell me, and it doesn't matter who it is, and they say, hey, I'm looking for, the most affordable. Okay. Well, the next question is do you speak Spanish? Do you want to live in a resort town? Do you want to live in a town with all the amenities again? With things like a supermarket, things like a mall, just regular stores, that you might be used to in the USA? Or do you want to live in a village, like in a pueblo, like literally as far away from civilization as possible? Because that's going to determine a lot as to the price of your, where you want to stay. And and I could go on and on. So if you want to stay on the beach, automatically it's going to be expensive. You know what I mean? You already know. Unless, you're willing to give up amenities. But the more amenities you want, then the more expensive it's going to be. And there's just so many variables in play here when you're looking for a place to live in Mexico. And that's the thing. So, for example, I live in Mérida, Yucatan. Here, I'll show you where I live. I'll show you exactly where I live. All right. Okay, this is where I live. Okay, for a lot of people in the audience, this seems amazing. This is, again, you're asking me, I want to live on the beach. Okay, but the thing is like, okay, I live in the city. I live about 45 minutes from the beach. Why? The reason I live here in the city is because I want the amenities of a city. It's as simple as that. Because I go to the beach. We go to the beach all the time. In fact, shameless plug, shameless plug, before we get too far into the episode. On my other channel, for some of you guys out there in the audience that know, I have two channels. I have this channel, and then I have another channel where, I just talk about life stories. Well, this past weekend I went camping for the first time on the beach, and so it went okay. It went good. It went bad. Regardless, it's a story, and my stories are really funny and they're enjoyable and they're entertaining. And so, anyways, we're gonna be talking about camping on the beach today on Unleashed. So around 3 p.m. Eastern is when we go live over there. So basically, once we're done here, all right. But anywho's, going back to what I was saying about the beach. All right, and living on the beach. So when we go to the beach, you know what I mean? Why were we camping on the beach? Well, because we wanted to spend the night on the beach, and it's expensive to stay on the beach. It's just, it is what it is. And so even if you're living on the beach, let's say you live on the beach, you can afford to buy a home there. You found a good deal. You found, you found a good rental, whatever it is. Again, depending on where you want to live. So let's say you want to live close to, more of a civilized area of the beach, Progresso, where they have, bigger shopping, grocery stores, and, they might have a mechanic for your car, just things like that, whatever, just basic stuff. Well, there's going to be a little bit more expensive there. There's more amenities there as well, besides those basic things that a lot of us take for granted. There's also, like a big pier and a port. There's a bunch of things that you can do whether you're a tourist or not. Just like going to the big park. Okay? Anywho's. But the further out you go, let's say you want to be on the beach that you're looking at right there in the background. Well, there's nothing around here. A lot of people they want to live on this beach. First of all, going to this beach is great. I recommend it. Stelchac, San Crisanto, all those areas up there in the Yucatan. Anyways, but when you go and live out there, it's, outside of the OXXO, which is a 7-Eleven, you're not going to really find much, or a little tiendita, little store, might sell just the basics, so you can't necessarily really live out there. First of all, because you're not used to the whole living like a villager. You don't speak the language, okay? You're in the middle of nowhere. If you're only going to have a bicycle or walking around, try biking to Progresso. You know what I mean? And I could go on and on. And so, that's the thing. There's all these unrealistic expectations that people have. And so, I'm just talking about my Yucatecan coast, my beach. Let's say you go to Oaxaca. Same thing. You know what I mean? You go to the main beach area there. Well, yeah, you're going to have a little bit more amenities and a few more things, access to a few more things. It's going to be way more expensive. But the further out you go to, like, a beach like this, where there's, nothing, which is paradise. It literally is. It's paradise. That's where we go out there all the time because there's nothing there. Again, stay tuned for Unleashed later so you guys can, hear me, talk about that. By the way, hopefully the sound is coming good. Oh, yeah. Hold on. That's why. There's a little bit. I was like, man, why is there an echo? It's because, never mind. Hopefully this cures the echo a little bit. Sorry about the echo there, if there even was one. But there's many things like that. And so, it's not just living in the beach, It's like living in any part of Mexico, or Mexico in general. And so these are the things that, this is what we're going to be talking about today in further detail because, the reason I chose this topic to talk about today is simply because the last episode that I dropped, okay, I just dropped my yearly, well, I'm doing 2 of these a year now, depending on the situation. But, my yearly cost of living update, okay? And so, I'm just doing my yearly cost of living update. It's really not much of a change from all the other years. We get a few changes here and there, but basically the same, whatever. Anyway, so I post, the video, gets, a lot of positive reception by, a lot of you guys out there in the audience, that's awesome. But when I posted it, let's say on Facebook, oh my God, 90% of the comments were negative. And the comments were basically saying, oh my God, that's crazy. That's impossible. That is insane. Mexico's insanely expensive. How can anybody live in Mexico for $1,000? blah, 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 or $1,500 a month. That is nuts. That is fake news. He is not talking about the blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, these are my expenses. There's a lot of people that have similar expenses. In fact, anyways. So I'm looking at the people, all these expats, Americans, whatever, Canadians, pushing this out, you know what I mean? That's what they're leaving in the comments because they're bothered, whatever. And then all of a sudden I see, other Mexicans, Mexicans that live here, and they're like, what are you talking about, Gene? What are you talking about, Roger? What are you talking about, Karen? I wish I could make $1,000 a month. I wish I could make 20,000 pesos a month. What do you mean? You can't live on $1,000 a month? I can barely bring in $1,000 a month. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Things like that. And so why is that most Mexicans, 90% of the population can live, or maybe 80%? I don't know. I know a lot of Mexicans out there making more money, but 80% of Mexicans out there live pretty good, or at least a regular lifestyle, or at least better than what you're living over there for sure. But anyways, $1,500 a month, all right, $1,000 to $1,500 a month is what they bring in. Again, I collaborated this, because when I got all this hate, I was like, what? It can't be. So I just started talking to a bunch of other, Mexican friends of mine, and I just asked these personal questions. They're like, yeah, what are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, me and my wife, we both work extremely hard a month, just to make $1,500 a month. Now, again, they have either debts, because they bought a home, bought a car, or they're saving, other people saving to buy a car, buy a home. Anyways, the point I'm making is that, that's like normal average, $1,000 to $1,500 for a household to bring in, give or take. And like I constantly say, yeah, they work hard, but they enjoy life. They live life. It's a good life out here. But then when all these, again, Americans, basically, they basically want to lynch me. I don't know what else to say, just for simply telling the truth, about what my expenses are, and what the typical expenses are out here. It's insane, because it's like, their expenses are $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 a month, and that's already like 1%. That's like the upper 1% of Mexico, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't hate on that. You live your life, but I mean, come on, like the whole disconnect to me. And then, like I said, when I'm looking at Facebook, because I don't do anything on Facebook, by the way. I post and I disappear. Facebook is beyond crazy toxic, but it's a necessary evil for living out here in Mexico and outside of the USA. We'll talk about that in another live stream, about the importance of Facebook out here. But the point I'm making is that, so like I'm watching these Americans, fight with other Mexicans, as to the whole cost of living thing. And I'm like, brother, how insane are these people? What's going on out here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, you know what I mean? And so these are the things, why I have, and I talk about these topics and I bring these videos up because look, the reality is that for a lot of Americans out there are just unrealistic expectations as to what they're expecting for life to be out here in Mexico. Okay. Not recently, for a long time ago, I remember watching an episode of Everything Sunny in Philadelphia or whatever, or Sunny Side of Philadelphia, whatever. Anyways, the show. And in that show, basically, I remember, I don't know what it was, but something happened where, like, say, the economy crashed or whatever it is. And so a lot of people, were all of a sudden poor, and all of a sudden they were freaking out because they were poor. And I remember the main characters of the show, they're like, hey man, why are these people freaking out? What's going on? Don't they know how to be poor? And then the guys were like, no. See, there's a big difference, We are old poor, we've always been poor. And then these are the new poors. And so that's what I'm looking at now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Americans, Canadians, whatever, they're new poor. They don't know what poor is. They never lived poor. They never grew up poor. They never been through struggle. They don't know poor. They don't know what that is. And so all of a sudden now they're poor. And so now they have to, again, adjust, and they cannot adjust. And that's the whole freak out. So for me and others like me, like some of you guys out there in the audience, Well, you're old poor, so you're frugal. You grew up a certain way. You work very hard, yada, yada, yada. So for you, it's not a big deal living a certain way. In fact, as long as you got peace and quiet, you know what I mean? As long as you got, a higher quality of life, you're good living a certain, the certain way that we grew up, But for a lot of people, again, we got to remember this. The United States of America, and Canada, but the United States of America is the richest country on earth. And, when you step out of that USA, okay, and you go to just another country, all of a sudden you realize, how rich the USA is. Because even the poorest mother effer in the USA has access to debt, a lot of debt, and they also are fed, that they have to have or live or meet a certain expectation as to what their lifestyle is supposed to be. So long story short, most people, even the poor people in the USA, are rich compared to anyone else living outside of the USA. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you're poor, okay, but you were trying to reach and access, that certain lifestyle that you can never get to, right? And again, Chef Boy, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in that industry, you know what's up. Then all of a sudden, it's like, man, it's just life is so difficult out there. I'm never gonna get over that hump. You move out to Mexico, for example, and you're like, this is great. You know what I mean? I'm living like a millionaire out here. I'm living like a boss. I got freedom. I can live my life. But when you have like a certain lifestyle back in the USA, you always got a new car, you got a pretty new house, you got access to credit, you got access to like all these things, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you come out here and you don't have all those things, or those things now really cost money because you can't just put it on the card or on your credit or on your, whatever. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, Mexico's expensive. I can't live out here. $4,000 isn't enough. $3,000 isn't enough. I'm like, listen. And, a lot of people tell me, it's like, oh, what about medical expenses? You're young, Jose. You don't got, listen, man, I know people in their 70s, that, again, they pay out of pocket, okay? They don't got insurance. They don't got nothing, all right? And Americans living out here and out of pocket, okay? And, they, I know someone, again, recently, they just got like a hernia surgery and they pay like $1,000. Everything included. Hospital stay, the dog, the medicine, I was like, come on, man. Give me a break. That's like, and I could go on and on with so many other procedures, so many other things out there. Like I said, Christian broke her foot and she got like top class, top tier, medical attention. This was a few years ago and it barely cost, like $500. I mean, come on, and I could go on and on. You know what I mean? Well, it wasn't 500. I think it was, yeah. Between $500 to $1,000, broken foot. I mean, come on. And I could go on here because I'm always doing things in pesos out here for the most part. All right, because I live, been living here for a while. But all I'm saying is that, these people that have, like these, excessive amounts of expenses a month while living out here, it's like, man, you're living like the 1% is in Mexico, and you're not bringing in that kind of income, or you barely are. So it's like, I don't know. Anyways, let me read some comments. I see, oh, we got My Best Life in Paraguay. Shout out to you, brother. How's it going, big dog? And he says, well, hold on, let me read. D says, hi from Orlando. Jose, you would do excellent as a travel tour guide. Yeah, thanks. I'm not a people guy. Look, you know why I like doing YouTube and I like doing videos? Because I get to do it and I don't really see you guys out there. I know there's like, I don't know how many, we got 76 people watching today, sometimes 200. I know my videos get thousands of views, whatever, but I don't really get to see you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not a people person. I used to be a chef. I used to be a cook. And by the way, I thank you. I appreciate that. I love that because I started out in the restaurant business, for a lot of you guys that don't know, and I started out in front of the house, okay? I was a waiter. I was a busboy. I was a waiter. I was a bar back. I was a bartender. I got it. Yeah, are you kidding me? A bartender was awesome. But I had to deal with people, a lot of people, all the time. And so then eventually, I worked my way into the kitchen, and that's what I did for my career, for my life. Because, yeah, and same here. Look, I love you guys. I love everything, but it's just like, I don't want to, I just like making videos, you know. I like attention. I'm glad I can help you guys. That's enough for me. Anyways, shout out to you. Anyways, all right. Thank you. But no, I'm not looking to be no tour guide or anything like that. In fact, I do tours. But like in videos, you know, meaning, you know, I'll walk with you. You know, we'll do walking tours or walking talks, you know, yada, yada, you know, virtual tours, you know, do that. Anyways, my best life, Paraguay. By the way, if you're looking into moving to other countries, I know a lot of people want to move to Mexico. That's wonderful. But I know a lot of people in the audience are also looking into moving to other countries out there. Check out the rest of Latin America, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot down there. And I didn't even know about Paraguay. I mean, I knew about the country. I knew about the area. But I didn't know that that was even an option until, you know, he reached out to me. And I have a interview with him on my channel. Go check that out. But yeah, you know, in case you're interested in moving down there, you know, go check that. You know, go check out his channel. And he goes, agreed, Mexicans have a better standard of living than most Americans. This is not just my opinion. Their purchasing power and cost of living is more effective. Yeah, 100%. In fact, you know, so my, you know, I'm also noticing that a lot of my audience these days, it's a growing portion of the audience. And again, it's not necessarily that they're seeking me out or watching me for a particular reason, but a large portion of my audience these days is Mexicans living in the USA, Mexicans from the USA that are looking to relocate, to move back to Mexico. And a lot of Mexicans are moving back, you know what I mean? I myself am Cuban, you know, first generation. My parents, you know, were Cuban. They came to the USA. I was born in Miami. I grew up in Miami. And then, you know, I came out here. My best left Paraguay. He was grew up in Wisconsin, right? And or something like that. And then you came out here. Or you came out to Paraguay because that's where your family was from, and so on and so forth. So, you know, look into all that. But yeah, going back to like the whole reality check. So, look, staying on that topic of my background. So I was born and raised in Miami. I was born in 1981. So I was in Miami during Scarface. All right. I was in Miami during that whole time. It was in the 80s into the 90s. All right. But the whole Scarface area, you know, that's what I grew up in. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? I graduated high school in the year 2000. In the year 2000. Aging me there a little bit. Shout out to anyone out there if they can tell me in the chat where that is from. Okay, but anyways. So, I mean, that shows my age there. And that's where I grew up, and in Miami. I did not leave Miami, all right, and live elsewhere until 2013, okay? And then I moved to Seattle, and I lived around the USA. Long story short, when I made it to Mexico, when I moved to Mexico, this is where I felt at home. And why did I feel at home out here in Mexico? Because it was what most closely resembled what I grew up in Miami. For me personally. Got it? Capiche? So sometimes there is a disconnect, unfortunately. And I got to constantly remind myself and you guys in the audience that I have a different background. Now, there's a lot of people like me. Like, again, my best life, Paraguay. Bro, I'm sorry I don't say your name. I keep forgetting your name. My bad, bro. Anyways, but, you know, him and so many others like him. Well, I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? You probably grew up a certain way or grew up with certain things. And coming back out here is, what feels more at home. Let's say you're a Mexican that grew up in East LA in the barrio. You know, or you grew up in New York, you know, with the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. I don't know. All of a sudden, it's like, this feels more like home. Or especially if you're from Miami, you know, it definitely feels more at home. But Ryan, that's right. Shout out to you, Ryan. Anyways, but that's the thing. And so, for a lot of people, again, Tim from Wisconsin, for example, he's probably going to have a hard time, a more difficult time assimilating to Mexico culture. Now, again, Tim from Wisconsin might have a difficult time assimilating to the beach where I'm at. You know, this maybe region of Mexico, but maybe not Guadalajara. Guadalajara is basically a first world city. You know, You guys have seen it in my videos, how amazing that city looks and feels. And it feels like I'm in LA. It feels like I'm in the USA, and things like that. So, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like for a lot of people out there, there is a big disconnect. And so you got to know where you're moving to, why you're moving out here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are moving out here. So if you're looking to retire, you know what I mean? Like, again, you got to think about many things. A lot of people, they might be coming out here after a certain age. They want retirement and they want to live on the beach, but then they keep forgetting that they're going to keep getting older and they're probably going to need some sort of care. Where are you going to get that on the beach? I could go on and on. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's the thing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it cannot be done. Of course it can be done. I constantly encourage you guys that if you're not happy where you're at, and you want to, and you know that you can have a better life somewhere else, I give you guys the tools, so you guys can do it and get it done, so, but long story short, you know what I mean? The thing is that for a lot of people, they're looking for the magic pill. And there's no magic pill. There's no magic pill to nothing, and, just moving out here is not going to solve your problems. You know what I mean? That's just, going to solve some of your problems, Again, if, like, for example, your problem is you need housing, you can definitely, get it solved here. You probably, don't want to, have a lifestyle where you have to, pay $4,000 or $5,000 in bills a month. Well, you can have that out here. You probably like, you're Latino. You probably are looking more for a semblance of that. You want to move out here. I could go on and on. There's a lot of reasons. Retirement. A lot of people want to move out here for retirement. Of course, it's an amazing retirement spot. Mexico, many places in Mexico. But, what is it you're really, looking for? Is it just cheap housing? That's the thing, you know what I mean? Are you looking, because some of you guys, you come out here, and for me, it's easy to make friends with other Mexicans porque hablo español, yo soy cubano, entonces mi esposa es mexicana, entonces yo hablo con ella en español, siempre estamos hablando en español, todo es en español. So, entonces imagínate tú sabes, para mí, yo cuando estoy hablando inglés, cuando estoy haciendo los videos, But again, for someone that speaks Spanish out there, you know what I'm saying. But if you don't speak Spanish, you don't know what I'm saying. But I'm also speaking my Cuban Spanish, I'm married to a Mexican, for me, it's a different experience out here. But for a lot of people out there that don't speak much Spanish, you might not be able to learn Spanish for whatever reason. It's totally fine. But you're going to need to have other English-speaking people around you, whether it's English-speaking Mexicans, English-speaking Americans, and, what part of Mexico you're going to, so if you're going to go to a beach like this, no one's speaking English out there. There's no one out there. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Look at that. Like, lots of Cubans in Paraguay. No, I believe it, dog. Dude, bro, Cubans get around, bro. We got Cubans in space, bro. We got Cubans all over the place, so. Cubans in Russia, Cubans in, you name it, man. Anyways. Jose Ismael Martinez Sanchez. You know that guy's Mexican. Oye, saludos desde Querétaro, Mexico. Greetings from Querétaro. Shout out to you, brother. That's right. So, but yeah, the thing is, it's like, look, the reality is that when a lot of people come out here, they have a certain expectation. You know what I mean? And when those expectations are not met, that's where the big disappointment comes. So, for example, for a lot of Latinos, that are very similar, that are very used to the Latino culture, how we live, again, you come out to Mexico and like, man, this is awesome. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what Latino you are, whether you're Cuban, Dominican, Nicaraguan, Salvadorian, Paraguayan, like Mexican, whatever it is. And especially if, let's say, for example, you're Mexican and you come to Mexico, to visit la familia en el rancho. You come visit the family at the ranch every year or every couple years. You're already familiar with Mexico. You're already familiar with all these things, Or for example, you're Dominican and you go to the Dominican Republic again to go visit family. You go to Puerto Rico. You go to whatever. Me as a Cuban, go to Cuba. Whatever. You're familiar. You live in Miami. You live in very heavy Hispanic enclaves. You're already familiar with a certain lifestyle, certain everything. So, you come out here and there is no real adjustment. You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, it's like the adjustment is more adjusting to the way of life in the USA. But for a lot of people, it's like, this is the way I want to live, how we live out here in Mexico. But for people that are heavily adjusted, again, Latinos as well, but for a lot of people that are heavily dug into the American way of life, it's hard to adjust out here. For example, my sister, she's also Cuban like me. She cannot adjust out here. I know plenty of friends and family that cannot adjust out here. But again, it goes without saying, there's a lot of gringos, all right? You guys out there, a lot of white Americans, black Americans, whatever, that come out here and they adjust, no problem. It's easy. It's the way of life that they've always wanted. So that's the thing. It's like, it really, a lot of it has to do with you and like your way of life and like, what you're looking for, what you're used to, what your needs are, all these things. If your needs are freedom, being able to go to the beach, drink your beers, just live a certain lifestyle, listen, you can meet them out here. But if your needs, are these needs, okay, that are only going to be met in the USA or Canada where you're from, and then you're trying to replicate them out here for cheaper, they're not going to happen. You're not going to find them. I'm sorry. I mean, you will, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a lot of money or the same amount. So again, when Americans and Canadians move out here and they say, it's so expensive out here. The way of, like living in Mexico is just as expensive as living in Canada or living in the USA. I'm like, how are you living? How are you living? How are you living? What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Because if you're spending the same amount, like again, you're spending $4,000 to $5,000 US dollars a month in Mexico, bro, you're balling. You're balling. I'm sorry. I've been living here too long already. I know. You know what I mean? Like what if you're spending $4,000 $5,000 a month out here, you're balling. You're balling. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right. And so anyone out here saying that that's what they're spending, well, you're balling. If you're complaining about your lifestyle, about how expensive. Listen, I never heard a rich person. I have a lot of rich friends out here. I never heard a rich person complain about money. All right. People that complain about money are called poor. All right. And you know what? I'm poor. I get it. I know. All right. So I don't want to. I mean, that's the thing. It's like it is pretty insane to me. So yeah. I mean, that's the thing. To me, it's like I think it's really more about the mindset. You know what I mean? Having a poor mindset. Okay. Because, like, for example, I personally might be poor financially, but my mindset is anything but poor. My mindset is very rich. Again, for a lot of people out there in the audience, same thing. All right. But for many people, the ones that find it very difficult to adjust and to live out here, it's because most of them out there, they have this poor mindset. Okay. That they're not willing to readjust. And that's fine. You don't have to adjust. You can be you, live your life. But, again, it's going to be difficult for you living in another country. It doesn't matter what country it is, if you're unwilling to adjust, if you're unwilling to take part in the way the life is lived out here. Listen, there's a lot of things about living in Mexico that I just don't like. I just don't, and I prefer the way things are done in the USA about certain things. Now, when some of these things bother me about life out here, I simply ask myself the question, is this thing that's bothering me enough, for me to not want to live here? And the answer is always no. Of course not. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Of course I would like certain things to be a certain way. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are my true values? What am I really looking for? What am I really looking for? And as long as those things are always met, as long as what I want out of life is always met, it's just there, and then that's it. I'm good. So in my case, I want freedom. Again, we talked about this on the show many times. Freedom to you is different than freedom to me. All right? And freedom and comfort are two different things, but they're also related, okay? So I want freedom and I also want comfort. But comfort to you, comfort to you is very different than comfort for me, all right? For a lot of people out there, what I consider comfortable, some people in the audience, again, these people that cannot live out here, they find it uncomfortable. By the way, don't forget to hit the likes. Shout out to everyone out there. But that's the reality, you know what I mean? Like, sorry. For a lot of people out there, you know, the way I live my life, you know, they think I live a comfortable life, and other people think I live a uncomfortable life because of the way I live and how low my expenses are. You follow me? So, again, these are the thing that a lot of people, you know, just don't understand. You know, they think that it's just, you know, watching some YouTube videos, contacting somebody, all right, from one of these YouTube videos, you know, getting it all set up so they can transfer, you know, so they can move out here and live out here, and that being, you know, all the problems are going to be solved. No, listen, no, all right? Like, no, you know, it's like, you know, the reality is that, you know, you got to do some soul searching, man. You know, man, people, you know, all genders. You know, you got to do some soul searching, man. You know, like what is it you know, why? What are you looking for? What do you want? You know, what is making you unhappy? What is going to help you, you know, you got to go through all this stuff. You know what I mean? And the reality is a lot of people are just not willing to do any of that. They're not even, you know, at all, you know? On top of all that, let's say that you got all your ducks in a row. You know why you're moving out here. You know what you want out of life, yada, yada, yada. Well, the thing is that, you know, now as, let's say, you know, again, you're embarking on moving to another country. You know, a lot of people, they, you know, all of a sudden forget that this is an adventure. This is a journey. This is going to be difficult. You have to embrace the good, the bad, the ugly. A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people, they stress over the smallest little thing going wrong. They're unwilling or unable to roll with the punches, and I could go on and on. And that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, the reality is that, you know, there's just so much involved in moving to another country, and a lot of people are not willing to do it. Look, for example, I see videos myself personally. I see videos of people living in Japan. They moved up to Japan. You know, basically my channel in Japan. And I'm always looking at those videos and I'm like, man, I would love to go out there. I would love to go live out there. But when I just kind of really just ask myself some basic questions, you know, I quickly realized, like, yeah, you know, that's just like a pipe dream, but that's not really something realistic that I want to really do. I might want to just go visit Japan. I don't think I want to go live there. You follow me? That kind of stuff. It might seem like I want to go live there. You know, hey, these guys are making it look, you know, like someone cooking something. Hey, I'm making some food, and look, I don't like lentils, you know, and someone's cooking some lentils, and they do a really good job. It's like, man, damn, those lentils look so good. I want to try them. And they'll try them, and damn it, you know, I just don't like lentils. Whatever, or I might be pleasantly surprised. But, you know, there's a lot more involved with, you know, with things like that. So, look, my story is, again, I came out to Mexico sight unseen. You know, again, I had to leave. I was up against the wall. I had my bags, and I came out here. And, you know, for me, as soon as I landed, the quick realization that I was in a more familiar spot than I thought I was, again, just because of how I was raised in Miami, speaking Spanish, Latino, you know, the whole thing. And then I come out here and it's very similar. I'm like, oh man, I got lucky. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, you know what I mean? This is what I've always wanted. Okay? And, you know, for a lot of people, you know, they might kind of look at my story and be like, oh, he came out there sight unseen and he loved it. And that can happen for you or not. But the reason, you know, I say or not is because, well, for you out there, this might be the first time you're experiencing this kind of lifestyle. For me, this is the way I grew up. So when I came out here and all of a sudden it was replicated naturally, because, this is the way, I was like, oh my God, this is what I want. Because a lot of that is already lost in Miami. Because again, Miami's already first, second generation of Cuban Americans, and there's not that many people that are there that grew up from the older generations that are kind of like the way they live life out here. Look, it's just like if you're Italian from New York, and you're like third generation Italian, and you go visit Nonna out in Italy, and it's like there's a huge disconnect, but there's a connection. You follow me? And for some people, they're like, man, where has this been all my life? They stay. And for some people, like, okay, this is great for a vacation, yada, 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 but I got to get back to New York. I got to get back to Jersey. That kind of. So it's just, that's the thing, for me, and for a lot of Latinos out there, when we go back to our home countries, it's like, oh man, whew, this is what I want. Jeez, where you been? But for a lot of people, like I said, my sister, not only does she come visit me in Mexico, she's married to a Salvadorian, so she goes to El Salvador, she goes to Colombia, we're from Miami, so we got a lot of friends from all over. Anyways, and she's like, yeah, I only go visit these places. I can never live in Colombia. I can never, my sister, she could never live in Colombia, live in Mexico, live in any of these places, she's going to live in the USA. She's American, But she's like me. She's, we're the same, Anyways, so, we're not the same. Obviously, we're completely different humans, but just to put it in perspective, and that's for you in the audience as well, too. You got to keep that, remind this to yourself. So, look, before you ever even consider, hey, I'm going to live in another country, have you tried even visiting another country? Try that first. Try it. Look, for me, I visited Tijuana a few times, all right? But like I said, I already grew up in another country, which is Miami. But, for me, it was kind of like that. But again, unless you have like a lot of contact with a community that is going to be very similar to here, like for example, it's the same thing. Someone that's going to move to South Korea, all right? Or someone's going to move to Vietnam, but they grew up in Koreatown in LA, or they grew up in Vietnam Town, in LA, whatever. All the towns are in LA. But anyways, long story short, and then they go out there, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they, they fit in perfectly, you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh yeah, I grew up, with very similar things, like I see in Koreatown. They got it out here, whatever it is, Can I talk more about the weather? Look, how about this? This is something we're going to do. Relocate to Yucatan channel. Shout out to you. Man, there's so many channels popping up. I wonder how many other YouTube channels there are just in Mexico. Don't get me started on that. We'll probably do a live stream on that alone later. All right. In fact, but, thank you. Relocate to the Yucatan. We're going to go on ahead and do a shameless plug time. Shameless plug. All right. So go to my YouTube page. Okay. You see my YouTube page there. All right. Hold on a second. Okay. You got to go to my YouTube page, all right? And on my YouTube page, you see right there, right next to the store, there's a little, where it says search. You see the little search thing right there? Right there? See it? There? Okay. So we're going to type in, what is it you want? Weather? Weather. Okay, weather. Weather. Bam! Look at that. You know what I mean? I got videos on the weather. So anyways, you can do this for anything, okay? So check out that video. All right. Anyways, you can do this for anything. Let's say residency. And any minute now. Now the internet's okay. There we go. There you go. Boom. Residency. Okay. And I could go on. Oof, it's getting cold in here. All right. Anyways, and I can go on and on. Okay. So please go to my YouTube page. All right. Por favor. All right. And whatever it is you need, just type it in there. Rentals. Okay. All right. And but anyways, but please, go to my YouTube page. It is your friend, okay? Not just my YouTube page, okay? Again, I got countless videos. Look at all these videos. Look at this. Look at that. So many videos. All right. Anyways, not only do I have all these videos, okay, but please, go and visit my website. Again, joseartiaga.com. Okay, you see it's all the way at the top there? Anywho's, go visit my page, because if you're looking into moving to Mexico, you see right at the top there, moving to Mexico, general information. If you're moving to Merida, Yucatan, you want to move out here. I know there's tons of YouTubers out there selling services and selling all kinds of things. Listen. Tons of free stuff here, okay? Check that out first, okay? And if you need more, then you can seek out, okay? Look, you need a vet, you need a groomer, you got a vet or a groomer. You need an assistant, okay? Just someone to help you out with a few things, a Mexican that speaks perfect English, check out Stephanie. All right, she's helped a lot of people out there. If you need a lawyer for anything, or you need to, buy some homes or whatever, check out Jose. You need him for, Jose Novello. He's been on the show. You need glasses, out here. By the way, I need new glasses. I got to update this video. Dentist, more real estate. My barber, you can go check out my barber. Anyways, but a lot of information, all the restaurants I go to and I made videos with, and I could go on and on, okay? And so much more. Look at this. Anyway, it's all just free stuff, medical stuff, whatever. Okay, check all that out first, and then if you need to hire something, go ahead and hire, whatever. But I got there's a lot of free resources there. But anyways, more free resources. Okay, so look, you go to my again, just go right at the top. Moving to Mexico, general information. Let's say you're moving to Querétaro. I don't know. Again, you can find out how to find cheap rentals. So someone in the chat at the very beginning, hopefully you're still there. Where were you? Where'd you go? I'm honestly uninterested. She was asking me, where you can find cheap rentals. Hopefully you're still there. You can find how you can find cheap rentals in, what is the cheapest beach town, right? That was a question. Anyways, you can watch this video. I'll walk you through how to use these websites, all these links right there, and you can go on ahead and do your own research. Okay? And find your own place. And then, here's a video of what you need to know about renting. And look at this. Check out this video that no one has watched. I don't know why. But anyways, top 20 questions, okay, about moving to Mexico answered. Most of the questions that, a lot of people out there, whatchamacallit, pay good money to other YouTubers for, listen, they're right there. It's all there for free, all right? Okay, I'm just trying to save you a buck. Okay, for a lot of people out there that got money, spend that money, man. It's okay, Hey, I'm not hating on nobody. Everybody trying to make a buck. I get it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what I mean? For a lot of people, time is money. You don't got time. You don't got any time to spend on watching my dumbass video. So you'll pay somebody, whether it's me for a consultation or somebody else, to give them that information. Okay, so it's up to you, you know what I mean? You can watch a video, get the information or not. Here's a banking solution for those out there that need banking solutions. For anyone that needs an apostle, okay? I can go on and on, okay? If you need a translating app, all right? If you want to know how to code, learning how to, digital nomad jobs, By the way, I skipped over, there's some videos on how to get your residency, and I can go on and on, okay? So, do I have a serious glasses prescription? My glasses in the USA cost $500. Yeah, mine used to cost over $300. I'm sure today they cost $500. But out here they cost me like $50. So now you can get glasses out here for like $50, $100 tops. So, but I have $50. Anyways, but yeah, all kinds of jobs and yada yada yada. Again. If you want to help support the show, you know what I mean? Instead of selling you information, I give you information for free. You know what I mean? If you want to support the show, buy a t-shirt, buy a mug, send me $5. Don't send me $5. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't care. The point is that, I came out here with nothing. So I'm just trying to pay it forward. And I know a lot of people out there, they don't have anything. You know what I mean? They're basically a prayer and a hope. So I'm trying to give them, a prayer and a hope out here, all right? And that's all I'm doing, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? But like I said, please check out my website. Please check out my YouTube page, okay? It's your friend, just use it. It's free. Free o'clock. I'm not even collecting the data. YouTube is. I'm not even, come on. You know what I mean? Jeez. No, anyway, shout out to YouTube for allowing me to have a YouTube channel and host, these videos and these live streams, because this costs money. So shout out to YouTube for allowing me to, do my thing out here and share this information with you guys. And but like I said, Like the reality is that the reason a lot of Americans just do not, they cannot hang out here, they don't last out here, is simply because they don't have the right mindset. They've never been poor or had to live frugally. They don't want to adjust. They don't want to whatever. And again, I'm not hating on any of this. I'm just being realistic. Look, again, I come from Miami. The reason that city is completely different than the rest of the country is because nobody adjusted there. My mom, okay, has been in the USA for over 55 years, and she speaks zero English. So I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on anybody that doesn't want to adjust, cannot adjust, refuses to adjust, yada, yada. But again, that's going to come at a cost, okay? So you don't think that my mom is paying that cost? Even though she lives in a predominantly Spanish-speaking area of Miami, so she doesn't have to speak English, but you don't think that that's coming at a cost? Again, just for example, now that, the grandkids are around, the grandkids speak English. I speak English. My sister speaks English. My mom doesn't, So I could go on and on. So it's so many things, Like it's not, I get it. I totally get it. I totally sympathize with it. And so that's the thing. It's about these unrealistic expectations. That's why a lot of people, when they jump into the comment section or into the chat, and they're like, "Oh, don't move to Mexico. You can just move to the Philippines or Vietnam." Yeah, listen, you can go out and move out there. By the way, I Philip, he moved out to where'd you go? Thailand or something. I don't know. You can go out there, you for sure, 100%. But listen, if you can't handle Spanish, I want to see you handle Thai. I want to see you handle Vietnamese. All right, I want to hear you fucking handle meow, 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 whatever they're speaking out there. Come on, man. Give me a break, and it's just things like that. People just have no, they don't, I don't know why they don't put two and two together there. Why did I come to Mexico? Why were my only options only Spanish-speaking countries? Listen, I was not going to go and jump that hurdle of having to learn a completely new language and a completely new culture to that extent. Listen, I came out to Mexico and I don't know nothing about Mexico, but I know enough because I'm Hispanic. There's a lot of similarities. So it was very easy for me to, adjust, to learn the culture, to learn the history, to learn everything about Mexico. In fact, I know more about Mexico than I do about Cuba, which is kind of embarrassing. But, at the same time, I'm very proud to do so because this is my home country now. It's where I live. I love it here. So, but that's the thing. The reality is that, a lot of people, they just have, these expectations that are just not realistic. And unfortunately, when life hits them in the face, they're just not ready to adjust. And they think that, just moving to Mexico to a touristy beach town, that it's going to be, they're going to be on vacation 24 hours a day. Which, again, if you have a fat income, okay, every month, a fat pension, retirement, Social Security, whatever it is, of course you're going to live amazingly well. You're going to be, are you kidding me? The best retirement ever. But if that's not the case, you're going to be living like me. And, I can live like me at my age, and possibly at 75 because, well, I've been living like this my whole life. But can you? A lot of people are not willing to take a dump in a bucket if that's what they have to do. I'm not saying I do that, but so I know I'm just, shout out to some people out there in the audience that, they know, they understand what it is, to live rough, to experience, pain, discomfort, difficulty in life, whether it was on purpose or not, and sacrifice. A lot of people don't know what these things are. They just don't. And then they come out to Mexico and they just cannot hang. And there's no sympathy from any Mexican because all Mexicans, okay, know what living frugally is, living through, sacrificing is, they living difficult is, all these things. It's not even a thing. So it's like, are you new poor or are you old poor? Like I said, for a lot of people out there that are new poor, no, this is difficult. Doesn't matter where you're at. But for anyone out there that's old poor, that's been poor, or you know what I'm saying, lived a certain lifestyle, knows what that is, this is nothing. You know what I mean? Moving to Mexico is nothing. It's great. It's wonderful. It's an upgrade. Oh my gosh, so Pete Stocks says Mexicans are super patient with people making the effort to speak Spanish. Exactly, 100% correct. Often they will want to practice their English with you. Yes, 1,000,000%. Yes, it's laid in the back. Yeah, that's the thing. And so the reality is that for a lot of people out there, it's just all you got to do is just make the effort. Make the effort. And when you at least make the effort, then you're gonna get met halfway at the very least. For a lot of people, they don't even want to attempt. They don't even, they just speak English, and then they just get upset when others don't. So, I mean, and again, it's just so many things about the lifestyle. Look, I'm about, we're ending this live stream in a little bit. Before we end the live stream, though, we're going to go, remember, we're going live on my other channel. So I want to give just everybody a quick reminder here. Hold on a second. Okay, we're going live on the other channel. We're going to be talking about how I barely survived my camping trip. But, on this camping trip, on the way back, when we were coming back home, on the road, on one of these beach roads, there was a truck that I guess they had an accident, where they were, they spinned out. They're probably trying to avoid hitting a flamingo or whatever. And so they spinned out and they kind of got stuck, on the embankment. And so there was another truck trying to pull them out, and they were having no luck. And we were coming in a truck in a big camper. And, my friend Dave, which you guys know from the channel. In fact, he was in, we went to in Mercado Galvez, not too long ago. But anyways, long story short, he had the camper, and we had the ropes, special ropes to pull the truck in. So yeah, we just pulled to the side of the road and we helped this guy out and we pulled him out, and that's it. You know what I mean? It was just like, and those traffic piling up on both sides, coming north and south. Everybody was patient. Nobody was honking. Everybody was, waiting. We were working as hard as we could. There was a bunch of guys there. And we basically pulled that truck out, and it took like 10 minutes tops. And as soon as we pulled out, all the people that were waiting in traffic, they're like, hey, the people that are happy, all hugs, whatever, nothing. There was no, it was just, you needed help. We helped you out. You're welcome. Thank you. That's it. We're on our way. Everybody was on their way, and that's it. And it's just so many things like that. And it's just one thing after the other, where it's like, for some people, it just comes naturally to live a certain way. Of course you're going to help that guy out. Of course you're going to this. Of course you're going to do this. But for some people, never in a million years. My sister would just keep going. But it's like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to save that guy. What if my truck gets stuck? What if this? What if that? Or that? It is what it is. All right. But anyways, guys, look, you can see I even got Gizmo there. Gizmo went camping with us. We were camping on the beach. Look at my face. That should tell you how it went. Again, we're going to be talking about that soon. So in about 30 minutes to an hour, give or take, we're going to go live over there. So please, in fact, for those of you guys out there in the audience that wants to help me out, if at any point I've given you any information to help you out, okay, if you want to give back to me for free, for absolutely free, okay, do me a favor. Go to my channel, okay, go to Jose Unleashed, okay, please, and just subscribe. Just subscribe. Maybe even go check out one of the videos, Maybe you might be pleasantly surprised. Or join us later today, okay, when we go live on, the first show of the year, all right? But please, go show me some love over there. I would really, really appreciate it. We recently got monetized over there. Yay! And everything. So, please just go and join me over there. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I already see someone subscribed. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. But yeah, guys, look, I know that today, as of right now, there's like 1,300,700 other Mexico YouTubers out there. When I first moved out here, there was like 5 of us. But now there's like over 1 million. In fact, I think here in Merida alone, there's like, 300,000 of them. I don't know. Whatever. Look, the point I'm making is that, shout out to everyone out there. It makes me very happy, that there's so many other YouTubers out there, other people making content out there, to help all of you guys out, get, the information you need and things like that. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You can have all the information, you can have all this, access to stuff, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. For me, for you guys now, it has never been easier to come out here. Okay. To move out here. But please understand, you know what I mean? The reality is that, the more you have to rely on other people, the more difficult it's going to be for you. Of course, we all need help. I didn't do it all on my own. Once I got here and I made a few friends and yada, 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 of course, I had help from people. Are you kidding me? My wife alone has been a humongous asset, to making life easy for me to live out here, okay? Or easier, all right? But the reality is that, you cannot solely rely on others. You cannot solely rely on me. You cannot solely rely on other channels or just information like that. You have to do a lot of this work on, as well, okay? It's not just watching videos on working out, okay? You also have to, work out. You have to put in that work, okay? Oh, wow. Shout out to Renato Diaz. Oh, thank you so much. By the way, someone else gave me a super chat earlier. I don't know if I even said hi. I apologize. Yeah. I've been chatty Cathy today. You can tell I've been off. I took a break, right? You can tell like took a vacation, huh? I've been chatty Cathy. Anyway, so shout out to Dominic Soto with a $10 super chat. Oh man, so sorry if I didn't acknowledge you earlier. Hopefully you're still there. My apologies. And shout out to Renato Diaz. Shout out. You always give super chats out there. Shout out to you as well for the $20 super chat. So shout out to you. Thank you. All right. Moving to Merida with my wife and kids soon. You've eased any discomfort and eliminated any doubt. Most appreciated, sir. Oh, well, which is, anytime. Yeah, look, that's the thing. The reality is that, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm really just trying to show you guys what life really is like out here. And like I said, you guys know, for a lot of you guys out there in the audience, this is paradise. It doesn't matter. You might see trash on the floor. You might see the vendor doing whatever it is. You see the real Mexico. And you're like, man, that's nice. That's nice. And for a lot of people in the audience, you're looking at them like, man, that's not nice. That's no bueno. That's like Mumbai. That's what you see. There's nothing like Mumbai out here. But anyways, the point I'm making is that, I show you the truth. I tell you the truth. I make these videos not to discourage any of you. No. It's to encourage you, okay, to make the right choice, okay? So for a lot of you guys that are on the fence about moving to Mexico, well, my videos, my content, might be that last push that you need to get over the hump to come out to Mexico. And for a lot of you guys, it's the push the other way around, where you're looking at my videos, you're looking at life in Mexico, and you're like, man, I do not want to live in Mexico. I cannot live in a place, where, it's anarchy, without so much, law and order, with the bureaucracy is the mess, whatever your reasoning is, all right? I cannot eat from a street vendor that does not have, a certified, food handler's permit that has been, registered by the city. Listen, I get it. Stay in, wherever you're at, okay? In the USA or Canada. But the reality is that, even those people, I've helped, okay? Because you know how many people have actually told me, man, thank you for showing me and telling us exactly how life is out there, because I have a medical condition. You know, I have a severe medical blah, blah, blah condition. And I know that, you know, I cannot live in Mexico with this condition because of yada, 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 yada. So thank you, Jose, because now I know that if I move to Mexico, it's not going to be good for me. I need to stay here in the USA, yada, yada, yada. So again, it could be because of that. It could be because of, again, you know, just people seeing that, you know, how the lack of authority here is, you know, for a lot of people like, oh, no, I cannot handle, you know, a country where authority is just a, you know, thing. I need to live in a country like the USA where authority will, you know, put that boot right down my throat. So I need to stay in the USA. And I can go on and on. Okay? So I've helped people on both sides. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay? Give you guys a reality check. That's all it is. That's all my channel is. I'm not trying to give you guys or sell you any tours. I'm not trying to do, no, I'm giving you guys a reality check. And that includes, like, for example, you know, when I'm doing like the house tours, okay? The reason I don't do that many rentals is because I show you guys how to get rentals. And, you know, the reality is that for a lot of you guys are actually looking to buy a home and you guys are doing home tours. And look, I'm doing the tours to get views, just like I do all my videos to get views, because I'm not selling homes. I'm not, the realtor is, you know, they're selling homes, you know, other people or whatever, you know, but it's the same thing. Again, all I sell is my time. That's all I sell. You know, if you want a one-on-one consultation, you can have that. I sell t-shirts. That's it. Whatever. Okay. But, you know, again, what do I do? What do I do? Again, let's just go through my video collection. Okay. My very recent video collection. So you guys can see a little bit more of what I try to do on this channel. I just try to show you guys, again, I'm not telling you to live on 1,000. No. I'm just telling you how I live in 1,000, give or take, or 1,500. Okay. I'll show you. I'll give you a walk through the park. You know, we'll do some charity work. Okay. You know, doing things for the kids. You know, we'll go on an adventure. You know, we're going to go and explore Campeche. We're going to go and explore Uman. We're going to go explore the market. We're going to go explore, you know what I mean? I'm doing you real things. Why? Because I'm sure when I tell you, hey, you can live out here at a certain budget. Okay, I'm not just telling you, I'm showing you. Look, this is where you need to shop. When people are like, hey, Jose, where can I get my organic apples and fruits? I'm showing you where you can get them. You know, hey, Jose, where can I do? I'm showing you how to do it. You know, that's the thing. And so look, I get it. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, they don't want to see the videos. They don't want to whatever. They want someone to do it for them. Okay, there's other YouTubers out there that will sell you that service. But again, that's a disservice to you as well, because, you know, you need to know how to do all this yourself. You know, you cannot pay somebody to lose the weight for you. You know what I mean? You got to do that to yourself. So this is why I show you everything. Also, the reason I also show you everything is because let's just say you do hire somebody out there, because a lot of you guys do hire. I'm not telling you not to hire them. Again, you need facilitators. You need people to help you. But again, when you hire them, you know what to look for. Okay, look, I was a chef, okay? I had to run a kitchen. I couldn't do everything. I needed to have a baker. I needed to have a dishwasher. I needed to have people that did specialty, you know, cooking, whatever. Again, was I a master baker? Well, I mean, you know, different kind of master baker. Anyways, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I was not a master baker. Was I a master? No. No, but I knew how to do everything. I knew everything. Why did I know everything? Well, because if I hired a baker and all of a sudden he's stealing from me, you know, if I don't know how to run that area, well, he's going to steal from me and I don't know he's stealing from me. But if I know how that's supposed to be run and I hire somebody and they're not running it correctly, well, listen, I know because look, here's how it's supposed to be done and you're not doing it that way. So look, that's all I'm doing. So when I show you guys, even when I do a video like here, buyers beware, you know, about the real estate license, a lot of people are giving me flack on that. Listen, I'm just telling you, look, this is how the way it is. You do you. That's what I tell you. That's what I love about Mexico, the freedom of living in Mexico. You do whatever you want, but you're going to suffer consequences. Okay, if you don't do certain things, so it's the same thing. The reason I do these videos, I give you all this information, is so that when you're moving to, I don't know, Querétaro, I don't know, Guadalajara, Ajic, whatever, Baja, and you hire somebody, or some American is helping you find XYZ. Listen, you can back check them because you're like, hey, wait a minute. I saw on Jose's channel that you need a license. Hey, wait a minute. I saw on Jose's channel that, we need a ta-ta-ta here in the house. Hey, wait a minute. I saw on Jose's channel that, this actually cost this amount of money. Why are you charging me this amount of money? And I could go on and on. It's so that you have as many tools in your utility belt as possible, so that when you are confronted by a lot of these things, okay, whether you hire somebody, whether you do it yourself, whatever it is you do, you know what to look for. You know if they're scamming you. You know if they're stealing from you. You know what's going on. Look, again, like the residency thing. When I talk about the residency, when Jose Novello is telling you guys about the residency, and again, I tell you guys, hey, go do it with him, blah blah blah. Listen, I'm just telling you about people that are out here in this region. But a lot of people, you're moving to Baja, you're moving to Tijuana, you're moving to Ensenada, you're moving to Guadalajara, you're moving to all these places. Jose cannot help you there, okay? So you got to find other people to do it. So this is why we tell you how it's done, so that when you hire somebody, okay, you can check on them and be like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, why are you telling me it's this amount of money? Why are you doing this? Why is it taking this long? Why do you... assuming things don't go smoothly. If they go smoothly, you got nothing to worry about. But if they don't, you got, you got things that you can now, okay? Fact check on, or whatever it is, okay? And so that's the point. That's the idea, with a lot of these, videos, okay? It's really showing you, what things are, how they are, yada, yada, yada. Look, even in this video, in this video that we were doing, we were helping out hurricane victims out here in Celestún and blah, blah, blah. Look, we're out here helping the villagers. And so here out here in the middle of nowhere, right? And, there was some gringo that showed up. Look, this guy. And I was like, what the hell? What, that guy's out there getting free eggs and getting free supplies and getting free whatever. So it's like, listen, everybody, I don't want to hear it. I know people out here that are worth millions of dollars, and look at this guy. Living in a cardboard box, literally. Okay? So, I don't want to hear it, okay? And I'm showing you everything. If you want to come out here and live in a cardboard box, with the people in the village, and listen, go... That guy's doing it. I'm just showing you the reality of it. Now, again, 99.999% of the people out there in the audience are not going to be that guy. Come on now. I know that, but anyways, so... But yeah, it's so many things. I could go on. And so all I'm doing on this channel, all this channel is, just for anyone that's new out there, doesn't really get it. All that my channel is, again, look, I even changed the name of the channel to reflect more as to what the channel's all about. It's me, Jose Arteaga, me, living in Mexico. That's it. I'm showing you what my life is out here in Mexico. And I share intimate things about my life. Like, for example, my cost of living. Again, this is my personal cost of living. It might not be yours. Don't get offended. I'm sorry. The reason I'm telling you about the real estate thing is because I've already met many people that got scammed. People ask me, hey, Jose, how come you haven't bought anything yet? Listen, don't get me started, okay? I can go on and on, okay? And so... I have not been scammed. Okay, that's not what happened. Okay, but I'm just saying, it's difficult. It's not as easy, and especially when you don't have that much money. It's more difficult. You don't have as many resources. All right, but I can go on and on. All right, there's many things, and that's just the reality of it. I'm just showing you. I'm just really trying to show you, what life is like out here. All right, and at least how I live my life. How I'm able to live on a budget out here. And I could go on and on. Shopping in a place like this, is, hold on. is a major portion of it, okay? But anyways, all right. I think we've gone long enough. We're about to go live. Again, guys, I am going to go live on my other channel out there very soon. Go hang out. Okay, go check out my other channel, please. Again, if I've ever helped you out on this channel, you guys want to pay me back and help me out, go and subscribe to my other channel. All right, I'm going to put a link, all right, to that in the chat. I'm going to go live over there and tell you about my camping trip this past weekend. As you guys can see from my face, it was an experience. So definitely, stay tuned for that. And like I said, guys, if you really want real information on what life is like out here, just check out the rest of my channel. And, hopefully that'll help you out with that. All right. Steve McCoy says, Jose, you don't know me. I don't know any of you. Just FYI, I don't know any of you out there at all. Okay. So just FYI. Anyway, but shout out to you. I love you. All right. Love all of you. All right. He goes, Jose, you don't know me, but I will be moving close to Progreso. I lived in Mazatlan a few years ago selling timeshares. As soon as I save up, I will be out there. Awesome. Good for you. Shout out to you, Steve. All right. Frau says, thank you very much for your information about Merida. Can't wait to move back to Mexico from Germany. Oh, shout out to you. Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you've been in the chat, in the comments a lot lately. Shout out to you. It's ridiculous. It's 300 euros for electricity and propane. Wow, that's crazy. It's 300 pesos out here. Peaceful Self says, I'm retired and I expect and look forward to the adjustment in Merida, Mexico. I also know my life will be exponentially healthier mentally, financially, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Amen to that. That's right. 100% correct. That's it. You know what I mean? It's all about the right mindset. And again, if you know what you're looking for, what you want, you're going to get it. You're going to find it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know what you really want, you're not going to get it, So, see, again, Peaceful Self, she knows exactly, what she wants and what she's looking for. And, she's going to get it out here, and that's it. Look, I mean, I might have been lost and crazy as hell before I ever moved out here, but I knew what I wanted. And deep down inside, I knew exactly what I wanted. And when I got to Mexico and I had it, I felt it, it was there, and I was like, finally, it is what I got it. It is what it is. All right, so let me see. Any more chats? I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap this bad boy up. JH says, you vent too much. Keep it informative only. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Jeez. You know what I mean? We get social media can be rude. So get over it and just provide the value. Oh my God. Yes, JH. I totally get it. And look, you make actually a really good point, JH. The reality is that, unfortunately, this is also a business, and one must treat it as a business. And, in this case, what is my business? Well, I'm just trying to get some views, and I want attention because mommy didn't give me enough attention when I was a little kid. And so, I like views, A lot of people, they do this for money. They do this only for money and nothing but money. And, those are other channels. That's not my channel. I like making videos. I like to vent. I like to talk. I like to do what I do. And this is why I feel so happy and so blessed I get to do this. So JH, if, you're looking for only information, you're looking for certain, listen, there's like I told you earlier, there's 1,300,438 million, channels out there. When I first moved to Mexico, there was only like 5. But today, again, you don't have to watch me. In fact, a lot of people don't watch me. They don't listen to me. There are other more informative channels out there. Again, I'm not going to give you a comprehensive tour of the market and, yada. Nah, I'm giving you, I'm giving you a Jose tour, like if I'm hanging out with my friend and we're just, walking around the market like a couple of dumb tourists, And that's it. I provide a different thing on this channel, I have a different, whatever. I'm me. This is me. This is my channel. And so a lot of you guys out there, you guys enjoy the ride and and have fun with me and everything I do here. And that's what encourages me to keep doing it. But that's it. I'm not really here to, I'm not again, check out the other channels, okay? I'm not here to try to cater, to all the JHs out there in the world, all right? So, Pete Stocks says, Ron and I are available for cannabis episode. Well, I mean, I don't like talking about that very much because, again, YouTube dings that because, Big Pharma don't like it. I can go on and on. So, just even me saying that alone might ding this episode. So I really don't like to talk about it. Nothing has changed, outside of what I talked about a couple years ago. When things change, I'll talk about it. I'll make an episode about it. Right now, I'm not trying to, talk about that because it hasn't changed. And I mean, again, if anyone out there, wants to partake, all right, in medicinal herbs, you can get them. They're out there everywhere. It's legal, okay? That's it. That's all I can say, so, if you're looking for a dispensary, stay in California. You know what I mean? So, Steve says, I'm living in South Carolina and I sell Italian ice in a local flea market. So I'll be saving up everything and then live off my Social Security. Oh, awesome. That's wonderful. You might be able to sell Italian ices out here too, just to, in case you're bored, definitely make some friends that way. Bianca says, don't listen to him. I'm guessing JH. Just keep keeping it real. Yeah, I know. Listen, I couldn't pretend even if I wanted to. I'm not an actor. I'm not a whatever. This is why I love YouTube. Because I'm just being me. I'm just acting. I'm just talking here. That's all. I'm just being myself. And again, from my hard life, meaning, the way I was raised, there's nothing nobody's going to say that my mom hasn't said already. On top of that, besides all that, like I used to be a chef. I used to work in that industry. You know how difficult that is? You know how many times Chef Ramsay's or people like him have thrown potatoes at my head and done worse? Think I care about what some whatever says out there? Look, I value everybody's opinion, and I'm all about the freedom, and I let people talk and say whatever they want. It is what it is. But when someone tells me, hey, you need to do this, it's like my mom telling me, or whatever. Well, she don't tell me nothing no more, but like when my mom just tell me, like, hey, don't forget to, blah blah blah. Okay, mom. Okay, whatever. Like whatever, man. I don't know. I laugh. That to me, that's another thing, is like the audacity that people have. Like, this is free content. Look, remember, I used to sell for a living. I used to be a chef, okay? So look, if I'm selling something, I'm selling a product, all right? And someone's giving me feedback on that product, look, I get it. I gotta, rearrange that because I'm selling a product. I'm trying to maximize, that. But I'm not selling anything. This is free. Freaking free. Free. You're not paying for YouTube. You're not paying for my channel. You're not paying anything. It's all free. So when people have the audacity to complain and to freaking, tell me what to do or this or that, I mean, I crack up. I'm like, bro, who are you? How do you live your life? Are you the kind of person that is walking around, the park, telling people, how they should walk their dog, or whether they can ride their bike on the bike path or not? No, man, listen, come on, so to me, I laugh, what I mean? But look, I know that there's a lot of trolls out there, but there's not. I've met a lot of you guys out there already, and there's a lot of JHs out there. There's a lot of JHs out there. There are. And there's a lot of JHs out there that will look me in my face, meet me in my, hey, shake my hand. Hey, I love your videos. I love your this. I love your blah, blah, blah. And then they'll tell me that to my face. Like I said, look right there. I see JHs. Like, it wasn't meant to tear him down. You see? You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, it's not a troll. I think it's just like a normal guy. But it's just some people just overstep sometimes. They don't realize, or they don't know me. A lot of people don't know me. Remember that. You know what I mean? Some of you guys know me and know who I am. And by the way, JH, I'm my apologies. I'm not trying to jump down your throat or anything. I'm just speaking in general. That's all. So, anyways, I realize I have a choice, just trying to help. Sometimes the dead is already dead. Stop kicking it, bro. The horse is dead. So yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the horse is dead. In fact, let's not talk about 2 minutes about dead horses. We got Lambo over here. We don't want him to get triggered as well. We already triggered JH, triggered me, triggered the horse. We're gonna trigger everybody. Trigger Happy out here. Anyways, all right. Oh man. See, look, a lot of people always like, hey, Jose, do you want to start up a restaurant again? It's like, no. You know, this is so much more fun. Are you kidding me? This is what I do for a living. You know, like this, you know, have conversations with JHs out there and then everyone else in the audience. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Look, because by the way, working in a kitchen, it was very similar to this, but you had to do a lot of hard physical labor. You know, this is all that minus the hard physical labor. Still a lot of work, but definitely, you know. Speaking of hard physical labor, I gotta get back into get some hard physical labor in me. I'm getting a little chunky in there, a little fat. You know, so I gotta start losing some weight. Anywho's, speaking of all that, I gotta get out of here. I really gotta take a little break before we go live on my other channel. I definitely know that JH is not gonna join me over there, but if he does, you know, shout out to you. I hope you join me over there. It'd be nice to have a nice troll. I know, JH. Hey, listen, I'm fucking with you too, bro. I'm just busting your balls as well, bro. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Listen, man, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I know. I mean, I used to take some of the criticism a little bit more seriously than I used to. I mean, than I do now. Now, I very rarely let it bother me. But yeah, you know, I know myself. I like being this way. So when you trigger me, I let myself go. It's all part of the, you know, me being me. You know, so I appreciate it, you know. But see, look, JH is like, Jose, you're a good guy. That's why people watch you. But sometimes it turns into 10 minutes of the same thing. I get it. I totally get it. But look, remember, we're doing live streams here. This is a live stream. In my other videos, in my regular videos, I have taken that 1,000,000% into account. And that's why I edit them, and you know, again, it takes a lot longer time for me to make a video because I'm trying to condense it and give you guys the valuable information you need. But when it comes to a live stream, listen, I know many times, I, believe it or not, I have to repeat myself because, for example, some people will tune into the live stream, the first half, right? They'll get the information, tune out, you know, leave, and then new people come into the live stream and then they start asking me the same questions, and sometimes I just answer it again. So just, you know, keep that, you know, the live streams are different. The live streams, I just let myself go. In fact, I oftentimes remind myself I have to repeat things, okay? So if that's something that bothers you, you know, maybe don't watch the live stream so much. But then you don't get to interact with me. You get to hang out with me, and we get to troll each other. Now we're talking, and now you get to talk to me, and now I get to know you. Which is already too much, all right? Because, you know, by the way, I'm trying to be funny here. This is all part of the show. This is what I'm trying to do over there on the other show. So look, enough here. I got to get out of here. We got to get ready for the other show. I love you guys. Peace out. Shout out to JH. Shout out to everyone out there. You know, thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the love. You know, again, Happy New Year. First real live stream of the year. I know we did a live stream with Jose Novello last week, but whatever. I'm going to see you guys here next week. Every single Thursday, we go live. You already know. And we talk about all kinds of subjects nobody wants to touch. So, by the way, shout out to whoever's in the audience right now still watching. If you have any suggestions for future topics or things that you would like for me to talk about in a live stream, leave them down in the comment section. Leave them down below. So that way I can read them later, and maybe I'll take, you know, some of these suggestions and turn them into a live stream, okay? All right, guys. Love you guys. Peace out. See you guys over there on the other channel, and I'll see you guys here on Sunday and on Thursday next week for the next live stream. Later, guys. Have a great, wonderful